Oh, is this Rohan?
It is Jerry from Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. How are you?
Very, very good.
What a privilege to speak with you. Thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure. I've got to say one thing. You know, I do these interviews for Australia every time we go, and everybody is punctual. I'm so impressed.
Oh, that's good. We would hate to waste your time, and we're so thrilled that you're coming back to see us
not
again.
not at all. But it's nice because we get everything done. It works out.
Absolutely. We're absolutely thrilled you're coming out to see us again.
Well, thanks.
Now, let's see. We can't see the Ramones, we can't see the Sex Pistols, the Clash, or the original New York Dolls, but thanks to you, we can still see the Misfits. What's kept you going for so long and determined?
Well, that's true, and I tell you what, we're going to have another generation behind that, so you guys got time in case you're busy.
Indeed. Now, for younger admirers of your music, or maybe those who only got on board after the Devil's Reign, you are living punk rock history. I mean, you were there the night Sid Vicious passed away. Please tell me to move on if you're tired of discussing it, but he was reportedly in good spirits that night.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, but I've come to learn that his mom confessed to actually killing him. So I don't know how true that is, but, I feel kind of stupid because, I was trying to hold things together there. And, it just seems that, he screwed up and, stabbed his girlfriend and his mom took him out. So, I can talk about it, but I don't even know what to say anymore because it kind of confuses me. Talking to the guy, he was, that was really the night I met him. So I really didn't know him before that, but I got about maybe a half hour alone with him and we were talking and, he was excited to, get through his dilemma. I didn't discuss whether, he was, guilty or not. I didn't feel that was an appropriate thing to ask somebody the first day you met him. Yeah. And, so, I kind of left that out. But, we were talking and I was talking to him about maybe getting together. I said, look, man, my little brother's playing guitar with me. Kid is great. And I said, he's looking good. We're staying in shape. We're going to do this. And Sid was like, oh, yeah, well, I want to take karate when I get out and all this kind of stuff. I said, well, look, if you need, two guys to back you up, I said, if you're serious about getting in shape and not, fucking around, then that's let's talk. But then, then he's shooting dope all day. So how serious was he,
Well, this is right, yeah.
No, yeah, it doesn't make much sense, does it? So
not at all.
You gotta. Yeah, I think everybody there was talking to hear themselves talk. It's sad, but God rest his soul. It's
indeed.
It's a situation of having an opportunity to take the world and just pissing it away. And kids, drugs will do that. And, we just lost Uncle Dez. I mean, he's still here, but he's fighting, throat cancer, so he's not in the band. And my son's in the band now, so I have another recruit. He's been working with the band 10 years, and he's playing amazing, and he's totally, on point. He's a sound engineer and knows how to fix all the gear. And, it amazes me how in such a short time people can learn all this stuff, because I don't know how to run a computer, and this kid runs a whole Pro Tools system and stuff like that, knows everything about every mic. And it's like he's, going on 40 years, and I'm the new guy in the band. So, I guess I got to step my game up. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm taking that serious. I'm working on it.
Oh, look, but your voice keeps getting better and better as time goes on. The last album's absolutely killer.
Yeah. Well, which one? You talking Devil's Reign?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let me tell you something. The best album we ever made, I think. What happens is like when we first started with Static Age, we had 24 hours to cut an album, and then we had to buy a few more hours after that. When we did Walk Among Us, we did it in like 3 days, or a week. And now I have a studio on the other side of the wall from where I'm sitting talking to you, and my son's in there right now working on lead tracks for our new title, our new opening song on a new album. And he, we tear things apart. We put them back together. We look at it. We say, well, what can we do here? Can we make it better? If we can, how are we going to do it? And we work on stuff, So I'd like to spend more time in the studio because I still work in a machine shop. I still have a day job, but the kid picks up the slack for me, and he's much more qualified than me anyway. He's got a better ear. He wants to do songs in one take. You know how hard it is to do songs in one take. But he does it. So.
He does. He brings an extra dimension.
Yeah, he's a pleasure to watch. He's very technically, advanced. So I'm proud of him. And I tell you what, I've been listening to Doyle play a lot lately too. He's been playing good too because we rehearse in the same place. So they're getting better. These kids are getting better on me. I don't know what to tell you.
Placing even more perspective on your unbelievable life. 15-year veteran of the Ramones, Marky joined the band for years. As you say, Des Cadena, formerly of Black Flag, the list just goes on and on. The Misfits have become such a powerful staple in the musical world, not just the punk world.
Yeah, I guess staple is a good way of putting it. It punctures two holes, right? That works. The thing is that we become a cornerstone. I think when punk music first started, you had the Ramones, and if you listen to their lyrics and stuff, it's a little light, it's a little humorous in a lot of ways. And, that kind of went one way, and then we split off and went the other way. We went to the dark side, kind of, we dropped tuning. We detuned to a half step, which made us sound heavier and more ominous. And we started picking subject matter that wasn't exactly, sunshine and butterflies. It was more, bats and ghouls and stuff like that. So, when the road split, you got bands that, more kind of focused on following what the Ramones were doing. And then you had the metaler bands and the darker kids. They followed what we were doing. And, that's where you get, Metallica and Guns N' Roses and people like that to wind up covering our stuff and really, spreading us into a very, mainstream kind of an atmosphere where a lot of people would have never heard of us. But at the same time, when you get back to what we were doing, I mean, that's it. That's what's going on in a pure state. We got the good stuff. So that's what happens there.
Sure, and for an extra edge, at Silver Tiger Media, we love Soulfly and consider Max Cavalera a friend. So to see Mark joining the Misfits is a huge thrill for us. How's he fitting in?
Good. He was just here today. He just got back from Soulfly in Europe. Mark is working with us on our record. I mean, Mark adds a dimension because he's, amazingly fluent lead player, And we got 2 new songs that are coming out that feature him on them right today. It was the first time he heard them was actually this afternoon right at this table where I'm sitting. And Mark came down and I played the songs for him, and he was really impressed. And I tell you what, it's kind of scary because the production, I turned to the guys, I go, I hate to say this. This is like, whatchamacallit, the band Coverdale's. What do I want to say? Oh, I forgot what the name of this stupid band is. Whitesnake. I said, man, the production's like Whitesnake,
Incredible stuff. And look,
well, it's funny because it's one of the songs kind of like a ballad, and the production is so good, and his lead is just perfect, and I'm just like, fuck. I said, this thing sounds like somebody else did. Sounds like what we were trying not to be in the beginning. I guess it's come full circle. I don't know. But, it's pretty interesting. The production's really good. We've come a long way technically. And I'm happy about that.
Indeed, and I'm glad he's not trying to meddle you up too quickly.
No, but he sure is trying, boy.
Brilliant.
He's a good kid. I don't know if you know, but he used to be Golden Glove. He's a fighter, and our drummer's a jiu-jitsu guy, and we got everybody that's kind of focused on staying in shape. If we didn't do interviews today, me and my son, I started running again, so we were going to go running. But we're trying to lapse We're trying to make it so that we're in good shape right from now till the next 20, 30 years, So.
And hopefully you'll still be producing records for us, prodigious records at that.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. This will actually be our 7th album, and I'm looking to at least get 10 in before I step down if I don't play out live anymore. But it's something you do for the rest of your life. It's not something that you walk away from. I know that there is no retirement program here.
Wonderful stuff and great news. It will never cease to amaze me how many bands from all over the world will stop a show and point out a Misfits T-shirt in the crowd. It's incredible.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I see it all the time. It influenced so many bands over the years.
Yeah, well, we're working on it. I always tell the kids, it's a work in progress. We'll make more. Just stick around.
And you're coming out to see us in December. We can't wait. I wish it was tomorrow, but it's not. We've got a little bit of a wait. What can we expect from the show? A little bit of a mix of your, what's now a huge catalogue?
Yeah, well, put it to you this way. We mastered 90 songs for 3 shows we were doing in California, which showcased the Static Age, the Walk Among Us, and then the Earth AD album, one each night. And then we filled it up with all the new material off of Devil's Reign and Famous Monsters and American Psycho. So, I mean, the funny thing is, I think the newer stuff actually holds a lot more weight than the older stuff. I know that nostalgically, it may never, match up based on the fact that was like the first, it's like Elvis's original stuff versus Elvis when he was playing Vegas. You know what I mean? You can't compare apples and oranges. But for me, I mean, I get to work with both. And it seems to me that, our second coming, in my opinion, in a lot of ways was stronger than the first. And, now we're going into our third era, so. I think the last, the next record we put out is really going to be a defining, centerpiece for what we're about to, continue to do. I think we've evolved. I think Marcus is going to be a part of it. I mean, he's still Soulfly at the moment, but we're going to start working with him on the record because they're off for a couple of months, and I don't know if he'll join the band on a permanent basis, but, if he's going to join the band, he'd have to. I wouldn't mind if we were off the road, he went and did something else. But, the thing is, I think at this point, to get a new lineup and not screw around, to start really focusing and writing and knocking out as many albums as we can in the next, 10 years. And, but, not rushing them to get them out. I mean, just not taking breaks in between where we don't do anything for a year or two and then say, let's start writing some new stuff. I say once we get into the groove, we just stay in the groove and just keep banging stuff out. We can get, if we can get 4 albums in the next 10 years, I'd be happy with that.
Absolutely brilliant. And look, the Devil's Reign is such a hard album to top. I can't wait for the next one with that news.
Yeah, I think we're going to breeze right past it.
Wow, that's sensational.
We're working on some stuff. We're working on some stuff right now, and I they're not all A songs. Some of them are B songs, but they have the potential of being A songs. So we got time to work them, and I think that the effort that everybody's putting in, the work ethic, I would say, is really what's going to push this album into the next position. I mean, we worked hard on the last one, but. I think, having me and my son together all day long every day is going to pan out into being able to top the last record. And really that's what you need to do. Every record needs to get better, and we'll do that. I'm confident.
Wonderful. To look at, it's so little time to speak to such a legend, but I really appreciate the time you've given us today. Maybe we can get together for a chat when you get here.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I think you got 5 more minutes if you got anything else. Well, I got something for you. We spent the whole last year, instead of working on the Misfits stuff, we put together this band, a little girl band called the She Demons.
Oh, yes.
And unfortunately, we can't bring them with us. But Ed Stasian sent me their first mix today, so we're going to have their record out soon. I think you're going to be pretty impressed. The objective was to mix the Ramones and the Ronettes. So and then you got to realize they played the whole album on our gear, so they sound really heavy.
Oh, wow!
It's coming out really well. You know, it's not this girly bullshit. It's really. I would say more metal than us. A little more metal. The ballads are ballads. Doesn't matter who does them. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But it's some pretty good stuff. You'll like that.
Well, what a thrill that would. What a thrill it'd be to see them on tour with you.
Yeah, I would love to bring them, but, you know, we fly every day. If we hit the ground and wait in a bus, we could do it, you know, but, you know, not at the moment. It's just not in the budget to bring them out and get them out and do the right thing. Last thing I want to do is launch them without having, you know, the proper thing. Because they're one of those bands, you know, the songs are like hit songs. So, you know, the thing is that they have the potential to play in arenas. And really that's, you know, that's the thought behind the whole project was to make an invincible superhero girl band where everybody looked great and can sing and play and had great songs. So once you got all those elements, there's really not much that can stop you, you know?
Yeah,
you know,
that will be sensational.
Only super bad decisions, and we'll try not to make any of those.
Haven't so far. Look, I've got to ask you, how's Uncle Des travelling?
He seems to be on the road to recovery. He had gone through, he had to have an operation, and then he had to have some radiation, no chemo, but they say they're going to get him back playing, but we don't know when. Right now, he really can't talk, and he's still feeling the side effects from, it wears you out. But it was lucky for him, when you go through that kind of treatment. People tend to lose a lot of weight, which weakens them and makes them vulnerable and not be able to recover. But he was able to actually maintain his weight, and he actually put on a few pounds, which is a good sign, which means that the body is taking care of itself and repairing itself. So he'll be back. He'll be back and up and around. He's not going to make this record for sure, and he might go on because he was wanting to do some other stuff anyway. He had his own ideas. Because Des is a little more rock and roll, than your average punk. I mean, he likes the Stones and he likes all that kind of stuff, and so not that I don't like the Stones, but I wouldn't cover them if you know what I'm saying. So, but Des wanted to do a solo project on his own, and I think this is giving him the time to really sort through a little bit of that. I know he gets tired, but I'll tell him you were asking. I mean, that'll mean a lot to him.
Fantastic. We hope him nothing but the best and a full recovery. Just one more question, Jerry, if I may. You are bringing the hair to Australia this time, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would have to leave my head home.
Oh, goodness me. Look, Jerry, thank you so much again for your time. It's such a privilege to talk to you, and we can't wait to see you in Australia and New Zealand very shortly.
Yeah, hey, thank you so much. We look forward to coming.
Pleasure indeed. Thanks for your time, Jerry. Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Goodbye.